Let's go train some shoulders and arms. Yo, what's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. I'm actually feeling well good today, not gonna lie to you boys. Yesterday I tried to pick up the camera and film yesterday, but I just wasn't feeling it at all. Not really sure what it was. It's probably just because I'm still trying to get used to this whole filming myself kind of thing. Obviously it's a bit weird at first, but I've got to get used to it. But yeah, I'm glad I'm feeling much better today, and I hope you're all doing well too. But yeah, boys, also the first few clips of this video you guys saw were actually filmed on my iPhone 10, and I was just thinking about it actually. I was looking at the footage over in Premiere Pro, and like the camera quality on my phone is actually well good, like to the point where I actually think it might be better than this camera. So what I want you guys to do is comment down below what quality you think is better. This is my camera right now, so let me know what you think of this quality. I'm going to switch to my iPhone right. And this, boys, is the camera of my iPhone X. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I actually think it could be better quality. Commonly I'm saying that because obviously you would think that a camera would be better than a phone. But if you look at modern phones nowadays, the camera quality is just insane, especially on the brand new iPhone. So yeah, this camera that I was shooting on is actually cost me about just under £300 when I first bought it. It's probably only worth like 150, 200 now. Yeah, this little camera is a Sony WX500, I think it's called. It's pretty much a really dumbed down version of the Sony RX100. I'm not sure if you guys know cameras a lot at all, to be honest. I don't really know a lot. I'm just going off what I do know. But yeah, the picture quality, the actual quality of the image, seems to be a lot better on my iPhone, but obviously the camera does have a better frame rate from what I can really tell. But I want you guys to leave a comment down below, do you prefer the quality of the camera or the quality of my phone? Because if my phone's better, then I'm just going to use that for the time being. I am looking at getting a brand new Sony mirrorless camera, probably going to get the A7 II or A7 III depending on my budget and when I can afford it. We'll just let you guys know for the time being, do you prefer the camera or the iPhone? One of the benefits of the camera though is I can flip up the screen, so it makes it a lot easier for setting a scene in the clip, just so I can see where I've actually stood in the camera or sat in the camera. So right now I actually don't know if I'm in frame or not, so I'm hoping this clip is in frame. Yeah boys, so we're back on the camera now. I think we're going to film the rest of the video on the camera, then in post-production after I'm going to kind of compare the two, see what I actually prefer, because if it is easier to film on an iPhone, then I just will do that. The picture quality is better. And it just kind of goes to show you that you literally, if you have a newish iPhone, I'm sure even the old ones aren't that bad, but if you have an iPhone, you can literally, you have no excuse not to start YouTube or social media, just recording in general, because I'm pretty sure like Tom Syndicate, he vlogs on his phone still. So just go to show you can be successful, you can, do what you want to do. You don't need to have the absolute top of the end camera gear. Yeah, you can literally record with just an iPhone. Oh yeah, and I also wanted to apologise for the dead trim in this video. Obviously we are in lockdown, so don't expect anything amazing. But yeah guys, today I'm going to take you through a arm and shoulder session. I wouldn't normally train shoulders and arms together, but I've been doing a lot of push recently, so I wanted to kind of give my chest a little bit of a break. And I'm going to, hit some shoulders and some arms, so let's do this. Also, for a future video, I think I'm going to look at making my own cable pulley system using the pull-up bar. So yeah, if you want to see how that turns out for me, make sure you leave a like on this video and subscribe so you don't miss that one, because I'm sure that's going to be a very interesting video to say the least. Alright boys, so for the first exercise I'm going to be doing seated dumbbell shoulder press, and I'm only going to do 3 sets on this exercise. And it's going to be the only exercise I'm doing to target the anterior deltoid. And I just want to explain why real quick. So this probably isn't that relevant now, but it's going to be more relevant when gyms reopen again. But if you guys know, if you've been lifting at all for any period of time, you'll probably realise you do a lot of pressing movements in the gym to hit the chest and shoulders. And doing all these pressing movements pretty much results in you overtraining. Well, not overtraining, sorry, that's the wrong word to use, but overdeveloping your front or anterior deltoid a lot more than your medial or posterior deltoid. And I think it's just important to never neglect your lateral, your medial, and your rear or your posterior deltoid, your shoulders, because that muscle group really gets neglected a lot actually, especially when we're doing a lot of pushing movements. So I just want to really emphasise the fact that you should never forget to train your rear delts or your lateral delts, mainly your rear delts, I'm on about, just because it's really good for posture. A lot of people that go to the gym, or especially see some rugby players, they'll be really kind of leant over forward like this, and it's just because they've been doing so much pushing movement. So in rugby, obviously you've got a scrum and stuff like that, so you're constantly pushing, you're never really pulling in rugby. That's just an example, I guess, of sport. But mainly in the gym as well, people just really neglect to do rear delt exercises, and quite often you'll find, like I said, shoulders be much more forward when realistically you want the shoulders to be back a lot more, and that happens if you train your rear delt. It pulls your back a lot more, and that really helps with your posture, and not just your posture, but obviously it kind of really balances out your physique. It makes your chest pop a lot more from the front and from the side if your shoulders are back more, not like really rounded over to the front. So that's just a little thought I had, and I thought I might as well share it with you guys as well. Yeah, I really hope that made sense on camera, because I kind of just waffled on quite a lot there, not going to lie to you. But yeah, boys, we're going to warm up a little bit now. I've already warmed up my shoulders and my rotator cuffs. So yeah, we're going to do some warm-up sets for front dumbbell shoulder press. Yeah, boys, make sure you let me know in the comments down below if you prefer kind of just me talking over the footage of me working out and kind of explaining what I'm doing more in depth, so I can give you guys more valuable information, or if you just prefer me to shut up and just kind of get on with the workout and throw some music over the top, or if you want a bit of both. So just interested to see what you guys prefer, so definitely let me know down in the comments.
Oh, won't you give me all of your desire? I wanna take you right there.
Oh yeah, one thing also, since I seem to be giving you guys advice and tips in this video, make sure you do full range of motion for your sets on this and obviously just every other exercise. A lot of people always ask me obviously how to bulk up from being really skinny, how to put on weight. Obviously a lot of it is diet and nutrition. Make sure your sets are full range of motion. Full range of motion pretty much means you're fully stretching and fully squeezing the muscle or fully contracting it. If you're trying to put on as much muscle as you can and you're really trying to get the most out of the workouts, never neglect range of motion, especially with something like this. It's so easy just to do half reps, just to ego lift and put up as much weight as you can. Make sure you're fully bringing the dumbbells down to fully stretch the muscle and fully squeezing at the top and extending your triceps, because you're going to really ensure you're fully stretching and contracting the muscle, which is going to lead to more muscle growth long term. But yeah, anyway, this is 30 kilo dumbbells with probably 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps. I'd rather do 12 good reps than 15 not so many good reps, so I'm just going to take it slow and try and force out as many good reps as I can without going too close to failure. Alright boys, so next exercise, I'm going to be supersetting lateral raises with these 5 kilo plates, just to switch up a bit because I'm always using dumbbells for that. Then I'm going to use the dumbbells, which are around 6 kilos, to do bent over lateral raises, which are going to target the rear delt more. So I'm going to superset those, do about 10, probably again about 12 to 15 reps on both. So yeah, let's do it.
I wanna take you right there. Let me take you right there. Oh, won't you give me all of your desire? I wanna take you right there. Let me take you right there. You just won't give me all of your desire.
Okay, now we've got biceps, and for biceps I'm going to superset the 16 kilo dumbbells for hammer curls with regular alternating curls, with probably the 6, 7 or 8 kilos, whatever I put on there. First set is going to be kind of just really like overloading the muscle and engaging it. Then with the light dumbbells on the regular curls, I'm going to really make sure I'm holding that squeeze for the top for a good second. And the eccentric is going to be like a good 3 or 4 seconds down, so I can really feel that burn. Doing tempo reps is they're so much more beneficial than just throwing around weight normally. You can really benefit from the slow eccentric, and you're really getting a lot of stretching in the bicep. These are literally like 5 or 6 kilo dumbbells, and I'm struggling a lot because I'm really squeezed, like not just holding it there, but mentally thinking about contracting the muscle. It's all about that mind-muscle connection, which you kind of just get over time the more you train. But really, like, it sounds stupid, but actually think about squeezing that muscle, and you're like, I'm not sure how it even fucking works, to be honest with you guys, I'm not gonna lie, but mind-muscle connection is a thing. Not sure how it works, but just think about the muscle contracting, and chances are it's going to contract more. Yes boys, so that is biceps done. I was going to say as well, if you're into drum and bass, or you've listened to drum and bass before, then definitely search up on SoundCloud Asite in the site selection, or was it the Select, sorry, 2020. So a guy called Mo Samuels, it's his mix. I'm guessing you probably know who he is if you found my channel, because I doubt you'll be subbed to me and not him. Yeah, definitely give it a listen. Skip 20 minutes as well. The drop of 20 minutes is fucking unreal. Promise you, you won't be let down. Alright guys, we're now doing triceps. So I think I'm going to do just one exercise for triceps because I trained push a couple of days ago, and my triceps are still feeling a little bit from that. So I'm only going to do one exercise, and we'll drop set the last. We're going to be doing behind the neck dumbbell extension, or I think it's called French press, if I remember correctly. So just bring it all the way down for the lateral head of the tricep and fully squeezing at the top. I'm going to start with 24 kilo dumbbell, do like 3 sets, and on the 4th set, the last one, I'm going to drop set it to the 16 kilo dumbbell. So let's do it. Not gonna lie to you guys, this protein right here is probably one of the best tasting proteins I've ever had over the last 4 years I've been going to the gym. It's actually the very first one I ever bought. It's the most expensive one I ever bought too. Gold Standard Whey is not cheap at all. But in terms of just like recovery, it has BCAAs and glutamine in it as well, glutamine acid. I just find it tastes so much better, so much easier to drink with milk or water, whatever you have it with. So I've tried a lot of my protein stuff, which is good as well. But in terms of just like the taste and the blend, I think this protein is the best in my opinion. But I haven't tried many others other than this and my protein ones, so there could be better ones out there, who knows. And of course I'm still having 5 grams a day of creatine monohydrate. So just so you guys know, that is what I'm supplementing at the moment. The protein I don't have every day, it's only if I'm trying to keep my protein high. If I'm struggling to intake on protein that day, then I'll obviously have just a protein shake just to make sure I'm getting a sufficient amount of protein. Yeah, boys, so I guess I just wanted to finish off this video by saying I know motivation for some of you guys is quite difficult at the moment with this whole quarantine stuff, and for me it's quite difficult too. I'm really struggling with just kind of motivation to keep going. I was actually prepping for a powerlifting competition just before lockdown, and my strength was the best it's ever has been. And it's quite demotivating, obviously, because going back to the gym to doing squat, bench and deadlift, my strength is going to have significantly decreased, most likely because I've stopped strength training, obviously, because I don't have that facility to strength train at home. But I kind of wanted to say to you guys that obviously just keep going, work with what you got at home. I'm quite fortunate I have got some stuff available to me, but just work with whatever you've got and just be grateful that you have got stuff and that you can exercise. And yeah, boys, when we all get back in the gym, muscle memory will kick in and we'll get even better results than we had before. You know, the comeback is always greater than the setback, so just bear that in mind, guys, and we'll get through this lockdown, it'll be over soon, and we'll all get back in the gym and training and doing the stuff we love to do. So yeah, boys, hope you enjoyed this video, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.